Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 9 of Civilization Beyond Earth. Things aren't going too badly, we've managed to take out our first siege worm. We still have an alien nest over here that we would like to clear. I found what I think is a very good spot for my third city. Up here on the corner of this piece of land. It does give us a coastal city. We're not next to a river unfortunately, but having a coastal city here is going to be fantastic. We will be within range of the Faraxite, we'll be within range of the fruit. We've got what used to be an alien nest here that has 8 xenomass, that's going to be fantastic. We'll be in range of the silica, we'll be in range of the algae, we'll be within range of the titanium. That's going to be a nice little city for us up there, so we're definitely interested in getting that up and running as soon as we can. Still at the bottom of the scoreboard. Okay, so we still got Franco-Iberia asking us for open borders. That's fine, I don't really see any problem with it for the time being. Need to get off the bottom of the scoreboard here, but as this is my first game, and I'm not playing on the easiest difficulty, I think out of the 6 or 7 difficulty levels, I'm playing on like 4. So unlike Civilization 5, where the 4th out of 8 difficulties is considered medium, the second difficulty level on this is considered medium. We're definitely going to move here and take this alien nest before the Slavic Federation comes and nabs it, so that gives us a little bit of energy there. Getting on my pop-up screen now, Steam's working. So that's that alien nest cleared. I think we're going to retreat all these guys back to the city, including our boat. We will have to move the Marines back out of the miasma, but we can't do that straight away. That worker has now finished with that farm. It now wants me to go over here and build a plantation on the tubers. That'll increase its food production, so that's not a bad thing to do. Let's have a quick look at this city. It's been a while since we did any micromanagement here. So we're actually working this tile now, which is giving us 3 production. We did build some mines. That is not a bad idea. We don't have a lot of happiness, so going for growth probably isn't all that fantastic. So let's take somebody, well, not that one, because we get an awful lot of... yeah, we're getting a massive amount of energy from that one. What energy are we getting? Does it actually tell me anywhere? 5 energy, so we probably should leave you there. Thinking about taking somebody out of this tile, 2 food and 1 production, and then putting them somewhere, what are we, 8 turns until growth. And if we put them here, it'll be 12 turns until growth. So it's only 4 turns delay, but it does triple the production that we were getting from that tile. So I'm going to leave you there for now. I think that's the best thing to do. Seems like a plan. Have a quick look at this city. I think it's still working the correct tiles, so nothing that we need to do there. Can't do an awful lot on that turn, really, so let's go on to the next one. Seems like the Slavic Federation have got a few units that they're moving around here. Can't say that I'm particularly thrilled about that. They're also blocking my units a little bit, which is not fantastic. I wonder if they are coming to try and declare war on me. That'd be really, really annoying if they are. What we should probably do is consider getting ourselves a one of those little combat buggies, because I don't think we actually have one yet, and it is technically a cavalry unit, so it could be useful. You are getting quite close to my borders. We've discovered robotics, fantastic.
Question or rest, which makes them good role models for the rest of you.
And that allows us to build the tac jets, and it will allow us to build the auto plant. We can also build Faraxite mines, and we can build manufactories. Now, manufactories are fantastic, however, they do cost quite a bit of health to maintain, so we do need to be careful if we're thinking about building those. I'd like to get you guys back here safely, if you can. So what are we going to build here? We could go and build a tac jet. It's only 3 turns away. Do we need to build any of these things really right now? Auto plant would give us +2 production. +1 energy from international city or station trade routes, and 2 engineer specialist slots. That's not actually a bad idea, but I think I'm going to build 1 tac jet for now, just so that I have a little bit more defense if anyone does decide they want to come and attack us. You guys are going to fortify up, because I can imagine all sorts of nasty things happening. Yeah, they're actually backing off a little bit now. That makes me feel a little bit happier. Now, we actually have a decent amount of energy in the bank. Can we afford to outright purchase a colonist? We can. So let us take the opportunity to do that. A unit needs orders, which is you guys. You can now come back and get on land. And we'll get you to heal up as soon as possible. We've gone ahead and built that paddock there. It's now recommending farms on these tiles. Not the best tiles, I must admit. It would be nice to actually get the tiles that have production as opposed to the ones that are giving me the energy. So I think we're actually going to go and work on this tile here. They are still working that tile, so that's now generating an extra science for us, which is fine. So let's get on to the next turn. We're now working on the Transcendental Math, which should allow us to start working towards the Contact Victory. I'm not sure if that's the victory type that I'm going to go for, but it would be nice to have it unlocked. So we've managed to establish the network that we were trying to get in the Slavic Federation, and our covert operative was undetected, so they don't even know that we were there. And as you can see, we've now increased the intrigue to sort of half a level. Now, what this allows us to do is we go into prior ops and we can actually see that our covert agent arrived and our agent established a network and was undetected. We now have access to the intel report, which tells us what they're currently researching, what they're currently producing, what their health is, what their energy yield is, production, culture, food, science, and so on and so forth. Don't have a massive amount of culture going on there. They've got quite a decent amount of food with the look of things. Again, they seem to be quite low on health. They're building missile rovers. Remember, a missile rover is a siege weapon, so that's potentially a problem. We do have to choose an operation there. We've already established the network. The next thing we can basically go for is to siphon energy. That'll take 19 turns, so let's go ahead and do that. He also gets a promotion as well. He gets promoted to agent, pretty much the same way that it worked in Civilization 5. Is when these guys get promoted, they are a little bit more efficient. They're more likely to succeed. They're less likely to be detected. You guys are just going to fortify up, and we have our colonists. Now, hopefully, we're not going to have too much of an issue with aliens up here. I would like to send a unit to sort of follow you up and protect you, but I think you'll probably be okay. This worker, what options do we have here? Well, we're going to have to chop down the forest anyway. We can either build a farm or we can construct a manufactory. Now, the problem that we're going to have here is if we chop down that forest, we're going... So if we build a farm, we're actually going to lose the production because we're getting the production from the fact that there is a forest there. Building a manufactory would be absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, it is going to cost a little bit of happiness or health, which makes me wonder if it's not better off building the manufactory maybe on a tile over here. So let's jump over onto this side and we'll build a farm. We'll worry about that tile later. Would have been nice to get a little bit more production in this city, but I think we can manage without it. Still at the bottom of the score table. Not a massive gap in scores between myself and all the AI players. Little bit of miasma damage to the colonists there. A lot of aliens. And we do not want to be attacked by the aliens. So, I can't really... The problem I've got at the moment is I can't actually move that colonist back. Start moving out with my gunners. Is that an alien nest again? Yes, that xenomass has actually become an alien nest again, which is really, really annoying. What I am going to do is take my gunboat and start moving that around here, and we can give it a little bit of protection from the coast. Hopefully they don't just go and attack my colonists, because that'll be really annoying if they do. Let's go ahead and build the farm. In fact, we don't have the ultrasonic fence here, do we? And we can't afford to buy the ultrasonic fence. That is a little bit of a pain, because if we could buy the ultrasonic fence, it would actually protect this tile. How much is an ultrasonic fence? Purchase. Ultrasonic fence is 460 energy. I doubt we could get that from somebody. But if we go and ask somebody that we are friendly with... So we're very friendly with you, for example.
Namaste.
If I wanted...
Speak
no, you don't even have
soul.
enough to give me. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit different then. A little bit difficult. So what are we going to produce here? could do with the farmer lab, but I think we're going to get that ultrasonic fence up and running because there's a lot of xenomass around here. We're getting a lot of aliens popping up. We have completed the tac jet. So let us go ahead here and get ourselves the auto plant. And tac jet needs orders. What are we going to do with you? What we could do with you potentially is currently we could rebase you and put you over here. And that means we can actually use you to help deal with some of these aliens. I do want to avoid constantly attacking the aliens because I don't want the aliens to remain aggressive towards me. Now they have moved towards the colonist, but they haven't actually attacked the colonist, which is nice. So let's move those guys on top. Let's continue to move you around. Oh, we've actually found some coral over here as well. I think that's actually going to be out of reach. Hex grid. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's going to be one tile out of reach, but even if I settled on that tile, it would still be out of reach as well. So not an awful lot that I can do about that right now. Do I want to take these guys out? Well, I'd kind of like to. Because we do have this tac jet. Now, if we were to airstrike, for example, how much damage would you do? Not a massive amount, and you would take some damage back as well. Let us see if we can sneak past them without actually antagonizing them too much. I think I'm also going to move the Marines forward into the city as well. You have finished work on that tile. Are we now working that tile? No, we're not. That gives us 4 food and 1 energy, so we might as well work that one instead of this one because it is a better tile. Let us go ahead and see what else we need to do. Yeah, we need to decide what you're going to do now. It would be nice if we actually had this tile, because then we could build something like a manufactory. I'm just wondering if at this point it's worth building a road network. Maybe it is. Let's go back here and start thinking about doing that. That marine is going to just fortify for now. Colonist, you are going to just heal up on this turn. What have we got here? Tac jet. You are going to go into air intercept. I know we're not really being attacked by anything, but if they're just sitting idle, they might as well sit idle on intercept. Cooperation agreement has expired. We'll sort that out. Again, aliens moving around. Haven't actually decided to attack us on this turn, so let us go and move our colonists and our gunner forwards. We only need to move one more tile to get to where we need to be. Cooperation agreement has expired with Kavitha, so let's go in here and
Namaste.
Discuss. Cooperation agreement. Yep, still happy to do that, so that's fine. What have we got that needs going on now? That worker, what were we doing with you? Oh yes, I wanted to route 2 from there to here. Hopefully that won't take you too long. Still not a bad idea moving this ship around just to give us a little bit of cover. We are going to need to clear that alien nest, that's a certainty, because we are going to want to improve that xenomass at some point. We certainly don't want an alien nest right in our city. That's going to be a little bit annoying. Yep, everybody's friends with everybody else as usual. He's actually quite good in the scores. He's right at the top of the list now. Okay, so we've taken a little bit more damage from miasma, but we can move there quite safely. You're just going to hug the coast so you can provide some bombard if need be. We can actually start to establish the outpost on the next turn. There's going to be a lot of miasma around, but we should be okay. You're just going to sit tight. Trade convoy, you may as well carry on. You were going there, were you? Carry on going there then. Help it grow, help it build. And again, not an awful lot else we can do. You still want open borders. Maybe it's worth starting to trade for things like science, because I don't know if there's such a thing as research agreements here. We do have strategic resources that we could... Well, I don't actually have any of the resources connected up at the moment, but if I wanted science per turn from you... what would you want from me? You don't see any way to make it work. I don't really want open borders from you. Wow, you want a lot of gold for a little bit of science per turn. No, I don't think we need to be doing that. So I haven't quite worked out what the values and yields are for things like this. I mean, obviously, when you play Civilization 5 for long enough, you know what things are worth. Like, you know how much a luxury resource is worth per turn on a standard game and things like that. We're going to take this colonist, and we are going to found an outpost. And the first tile that it gets has spread out to the silica. Now, the thing is, outposts can't actually defend themselves. They don't actually have any form of ranged attack, which is another reason why we are leaving the gunner here. I'm also going to move the boat around. Probably put it here. Because if I can put it here on top of this algae, it should be able to actually bombard the nest from where it is. This city's actually grown in size, so what would be a good tile for you to work? Seems like you're working the most sensible tiles. It's going to be a long time before you grow. You don't have a massive amount of food, but we are working on a farm. If we're not too bothered about the production, I guess we could go into the farm and actually grow you a little bit that way. But the health is the main issue that we're having here. Gunner, you are definitely going to fortify until here. I don't think there's any miasma on that one. I'm not sure if putting an outpost down on a tile actually clears any miasma from that tile. I would imagine it does. I shouldn't think you could actually have the city itself in the miasma. You want open borders? Fine. Let's everybody have open borders. Oh, hello, curious alien type thing that is now attacking my boat. Yeah, we're going to be withdrawing from this one, because he's quite aggressive. So let's go and get out of here. As long as the aliens decide not to attack, I don't have a problem with it. But we are going to need to get rid of that nest at some point. We don't need to do it straight away. You guys just fortify up. Trade convoy, you were going to Lalibela. You might as well continue with that. We now get 1 production per turn and 10 culture per turn from doing that, so that's going to be quite nice. On to the next turn. Looks like we're starting to get a road built. That's quite good. Still quite a lot of these Slavic Federation units around. I think we might have lost that boat there. Yes, we have indeed. Very, very difficult to get away from that thing. That was very, very annoying. Going to need another one of those. Do I actually try and take my own back and wipe you out? Part of me feels like I should do. How much damage can attack jet do? It's actually out of range, so it doesn't really matter. Let us leave you on... No, let's just leave you there. Can't do anything with you, unfortunately. Annoying. Now I feel like I need to go and buy another one of those gunboats. You've managed to build that farm, so you might as well go over here and build another one, I think. Yeah, because we do need a fair bit of food over here. We are working on that ultrasonic fence, because we do need the protection from these aliens. There's a lot of them around. Be quite interesting, because if we can actually get this city founded and build the ultrasonic fence here, it would technically encompass the xenomass and the alien nest. I wonder if it would actually stop them from being able to spawn, or at least stop them from being able to sit on the tile. That could be quite interesting. Can't remember what... Oh, yes, it was the ultrasonic fence we were building here. Not doing particularly brilliant on health. Let's try and get the vivarium, though, because that'll give us some more food and science, and then we can go for something like the farmer lab and get a little bit of additional health for that. Let us go ahead and build a gunboat. They are a really nice unit, and that one we had was nicely promoted as well. I'm really disappointed that I managed to lose that, but oh well, it's one of those things. It does happen. Not too sure what all of these guys are doing. Makes me a little bit nervous. What we should probably do as well is consider getting some trade routes up and running in our other cities as well. Still 16 turns away from getting that transcendental math. Looks like the Slavic Federation is having a little bit of trouble with the aliens. I mean, that could also be possibly because we've been antagonizing them. So this is one thing that is worth remembering, actually, is that when a player, or even an AI, is hostile towards the aliens and it makes the aliens become more aggressive, that is towards all humans, not just to the person that has antagonized them. So even if you're really working to keep the aliens happy, they will start to become more aggressive, although getting certain things in harmony will help with that. We could certainly do with getting a few more levels in harmony, especially if we can get up to level 6. That'd be fantastic, because that would mean we'd actually heal in miasma. That'd be brilliant for us. again, not an awful lot we can do, so let's go on to the next turn. These aliens haven't actually attacked us yet. I think we are still mainly neutral with them. I don't think they're too aggressive to us at the moment, although the sea creatures and the siege worms do tend to be a little bit... I think in the manual it says ambivalent, which basically means that they're undecided towards you. Sometimes they'll attack, sometimes they won't, but the land aliens should be okay with us as long as we leave them alone. There's quite a few of them surrounding us, which is a little bit of a concern, but again, not an awful lot that we can do about that right now. So we've got another turn. Yet you are still being bombarded by these guys. Are you just going to sit and soak the damage? You're not actually fighting back? Fair enough. We have a quest decision. With the creation of a new auto plant, our people will no longer be tied down to the manual labours of production. They will be free to focus their energy onto more noble pursuits. But what of the auto plant itself? Its automated systems will produce whatever we wish, but it is we who must supply its purpose. Towards what end shall it serve, trade or consumption? So, we could get an additional trade route from auto plants, or we could get +1 energy from auto plants. Not necessarily sure that we need the energy. Let's go for the additional trade route, because, actually, saying that, then I look and realise that we are actually on -1 energy, but there's still plenty of energy buildings that we can build. The reason I said let's get an additional trade route is it will allow us to send food and production up to our new city that's going to be up there, providing of course we don't get destroyed by aliens along the way. Change production. We do have that boat, which is really nice. It's still saying we should probably build another gunboat. Let's go ahead and build the thorium reactor, though, because that'll only take 3 turns, and it'll give us +3 energy, and that'll offset our negative spending there. This gunboat might as well sit in the city. There's no reason for it to move anywhere else right now, so we will just put it to sleep until we need it. If we get the opportunity to safely farm some aliens with it, we might take it just for the sake of getting a little bit of experience. You guys are really being harassed by that. Mind you, if the aliens are harassing them, it's helping to stop them from harassing me, so that is fine. What are we going to build over here now? We could get that trade depot. It's not a bad idea getting one up and running over here. Also, it's not a bad idea getting a thorium reactor up and running over here either. So let's go ahead and do that. We are getting a little bit low on cash. Now, what do we have over here? This is just like plains, but it is next to a river. If we go over here and we could build a farm, we could also construct a generator, which would be quite useful. It would be a very, very gold-heavy tile, or very, very energy-heavy tile. But I think having 3 food and 2 energy there is a fantastic idea as it is. So let's go ahead and construct a farm. And let's move on to the next turn. One thing I do need to do is I would like to get a manufactory up and running at some point. So that's definitely something that I'll do. Probably at my capital city. Just going by the rule of thumb with Civilization 5, is that it was always better to build things like academies and manufactories in your capital, because your capital usually had the wonders and the buildings that gave you the percentage boost to it overall. Ayan has grown, which is fine. What tile are you now working? You are working this one. I guess that's the best tile for now, so I'm not going to disagree with that decision. Let's go ahead and lock that in. But that's all that I can do on this turn, so I am going to call that a video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Civilization Beyond Earth, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.